So this Katina ceremony has successfully been completed with the harmony and togetherness of the Sangha. And this Katina cloth has been received, and this requires the faith of the laity to offer such cloth. And for such faith to arise, it's not something easy to come by, because for a Buddha to awaken in the world, each and every Buddha, this is something difficult to arise in the world. And the Buddha comes to teach the Vinaya, the discipline. And the Buddha teaches that one needs 5 bhikkhus to spend the rains retreat together. From the Buddha's time up till now, to have 5 monks spend the rains retreat together, it's not something easy to come by, for them to spend the rains retreat together in one monastery. The causes need to be ready, and the group of monks needs to have harmony. Sometimes there's 5 monks entering a rains retreat together in a monastery, but then some of them leave during the rains retreat, and this happens. This is a burden for the abbot. It's not something easy to manage, because one's received the faith of the laity already, but then there's not 5 monks. There's not a complete set of 5 monks in the rains retreat. Sometimes in other monasteries, the way that they do this is perhaps they have 3 monks there for the rains retreat, then they invite 2 more to come later to make it 5. But in the practice tradition of Venerable Ajahn Mun and Venerable Ajahn Chah, they observe according to the Vinaya. And usually, or sometimes in other monasteries, the Katina cloth is already sewn and dyed and already ready. But in these practice monasteries like here, like Wat Marp Jan, we start with a white cloth, an unsewn cloth, and then it's sewn and dyed before the next day or before the night time. And some katinas, they actually make the cloth from scratch as well. They create the cloth from thread, and sometimes it takes until 4 or 5 a.m. before it's done. Whatever the case, this is done with harmony, with togetherness. We see that in this activity, harmony is an important point, because harmony in the world brings happiness to one's family, to one's neighborhood, to one's village, to one's district, to one's province, to one's country, to one's society. It gives rise to happiness. And the same for monastics. When the monks have harmony, then happiness arises. And if there's no harmony, then there's fighting over the Vinaya, fighting over the Dhamma, various conflicts arise. And it can even get to the point where the Sangha doesn't listen to the Buddha when the Buddha teaches them. And when this happened in the time of the Buddha went to spend the rains retreat alone in the forest, and a bodhisattva elephant took care of the Buddha on that occasion. Then the laity, the society that was supporting the Sangha, grew weary of their behavior, because they saw that this Sangha, this group, did not respect the Buddha, and so the laity didn't respect the Sangha anymore. They didn't give them food, and then the Sangha had a difficult time living. So at the end of the rains retreat, Venerable Ananda had the loving kindness and compassion to invite the Lord Buddha to return from the forest. And the views and conceit of that group of monks had been reduced, because they had this clinging to self that I'm right and they're wrong. And so we see that the harmony of a group gives rise to happiness in Dhamma practice. And this is an important point. And when the path factors of virtue, collectedness, and wisdom have harmony, this can lead to Nibbana. So therefore we see that all things succeed with harmony by virtue of harmony. So we help and give and sacrifice to do our work together. We use the strength of the Sangha, the strength of the laity, to all help each other and help out. This gives rise to benefit. And when this benefit arises and there's this harmony, then the Sangha is able to receive the benefits of the katina. For instance, one can leave the monastery without asking permission to go into town. One can leave one of one's robes in the monastery when one goes traveling. And there's various benefits in the Vinaya of the katina ceremony. So this is a benefit of spending the range retreat and performing a katina ceremony. But the tradition of the forest monasteries, handed down from Venerable Ajahn Chah, is to, in harmony, acknowledge and agree together to not take up these benefits and to practice the Vinaya the same as we do the rest of the year, the same as we've done before. So therefore, if we're ready, then we acknowledge these benefits of the katina ceremony, but then we make the decision together in harmony to practice the monastic rules and discipline the same as we've done before, not to take on any exemptions or benefits as is possible for one who's done a katina ceremony. So if the Sangha is silent on this occasion, then this is acknowledgement and acceptance of not receiving these benefits. So all of us being silent and still at this moment means that we're not receiving the benefits of the katina ceremony this year. We're not taking on any of these exemptions to the rules. And then there's also various white cloths and already dyed cloths, triple robe sets that have been offered. And traditionally it's the rite of monks who spent the range retreat in the monastery that they have the ability to requisition these cloths. So for us together, the Sangha here, we have the right or ability to use these cloths. But if a monk wants to use a set of triple robes, for instance, then they should inform or ask Ajahn Somchai. And if they need to change one of their robes, then they can change and ask for a new robe. So all the Sangha here rejoices, gives their anumodana with all the laity who have come from near or far to come support the work of the Buddha Sasana, the Buddha's dispensation, for it to last long and continue long, for it to prosper. Offering all the 4 requisites and supporting the monastics in the monastery in all ways, from Thailand and from various countries around the world. There are laity who have had the faith to support the Sangha in this way. And may the benefits of this, may it bring you happiness and prosperity, well-being, growth in the Dhamma and seeing the Dhamma. May you grow in blessings.